morning, Friday, March 7th, approximately 8:40 in the morning, we received a non-emergency phone call requesting a welfare check at the 1100 block of East 8th Street. It is a trailer court, and it was unit number 8. Medical and law enforcement did respond, and the medical services determined that the victim, the resident in the trailer, was deceased. At that point, we went into the immediate investigation mode, determined that there was a suspect by the name of Joshua Charles Hudson. Last known address for Joshua was 904 East 13th here in Yankton. The victim was Todd Hudson, who was an uncle to Josh. And Todd Hudson's date of birth is the 21st of December 1967. We put out our BOLO as well as the press release to you folks. And contact was made with Joshua in his 2002 green truck down in Sioux City. A pursuit ensued where he entered back into the state of South Dakota and was apprehended near Jefferson. This is an ongoing investigation. We're going to serve several warrants, are in the process of serving several warrants on this investigation. Suspect Hudson is actually in our custody at this time. So he's been brought over from from Jefferson and is in the custody of the Yankton Police Department. Questions?
Who was the agency that did the arrest?
I don't know that. Woodbury County initiated the pursuit, so with a felony charge against him, they could have made that arrest. It may have been South Dakota authorities as well. I don't know who actually made the arrest.
I noticed that the picture that you sent to find him was a jail picture. Can you tell us what he was in jail for before, prior?
No, I could, but I don't remember.
Oh.
He has. We've had a number of contacts with him, both state, county, and city level of law enforcement. I can tell you that he moved back into the community approximately 3 months ago, sometime December, January timeframe from New Mexico. He came up for the death of another uncle and remained in our community, or remains in our community.
Do you know who reported the call this morning, or if it was anyone that lived in that home?
He wasn't from that home. He actually left the home after the action, the crime, and went somewhere else. I don't have that address.
But you think it was Joshua that called in?
No, it was a female. It was a female caller who called in. Did I put male? Yep, it was a female caller who asked us to check on the welfare of a male party at 1100 East 8th.
Between the alert and the arrest happened pretty quick. Did you have tips? Obviously, did law enforcement first sight it, or how did that all play out?
A number of relatives, I believe, showed up at the scene and started giving us a lot of that information.
Can you say more details about what transpired?
We don't have a lot of information. Suspect Hudson has invoked his Miranda rights, so we don't have a lot of information, and that's what's going to take us a large amount of time, is interviewing people in the area around the residence, as well as the parties that called in and showed up at the scene, try to determine if there was a rift or some disagreement between the two of them. We don't have any information on motive at this point.
Do you have a cause of death on that?
We don't, no. That will be ordering an autopsy or requesting an autopsy to the state's attorney's office, so we don't have a cause of death at this time.
But that home belonged to Todd Hudson, that trailer home?
We believe so.
You have a list of charges yet, potential charges?
We don't. We're actually going to meet with the state's attorney before 5 today and try to come up with our list of charges. He'll be charged out before, I would hope, before 5 p.m. We'll come in and do a debrief, I would guess 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, try to get those charges arranged and passed through the state's attorney's office. So we hope to have them charged out today.
Were any of your officers, did it do city limits on this?
No, well, only in that we went and picked him up from Jefferson. In any part of the investigation, we didn't leave the city. Everything was other than to transport him back.
I apologize if I missed this, but were there gunshot wounds, knife wounds?
We don't, and that's part of the investigation. There's so much information coming in. We've heard gunshots. We examined the body preliminarily, but we don't see, but he's still clothed, as you would suspect. Until we move him and probably get him in for an autopsy, we're not probably going to be able to tell whether whether he had been shot or not. So we've had multiple calls on potentially different methods of death.
Are you certain this was a homicide at this point?
We believe so. With the flight and the initial call, we're going back to that initial call or finding out why she was requesting a welfare check. We believe that there's some information there. And that's just one of the first interviews that we'll be conducting.
Was there anybody else living at this East 8th Street trailer at the time?
Not to our records.
So it looked like you had the entire trailer park cordoned off this morning. Is it still closed? Any anticipation when it'll be opened back up?
It'll be late. Obviously, with this type of a case, we'll move very slow. Our reconstruction team is already on standby out there, so they'll do a forensic reconstruction of the scene. And because we're not certain of the method of death, we're going to be examining. We'll be looking for a lot of forensics evidence at the crime scene.
Have residents been evacuated from the area, or are they still allowed to go to their homes?
We're trying to allow them to get in. We're obviously regulating. We don't want them to get too far or too close to the crime scene of the trailer itself. So we'll keep it at a distance, but we're going to try to allow them as much access to their homes as we possibly can.
Do we have an idea of how long he was maybe dead for?
We don't. We know that the suspect left the crime scene and went somewhere and had a conversation, and that call came in from the female caller. So we don't know how much time transpired between the actual action and the initial call.
Is DCI helping?
Yeah, we have DCI, Yankton County Sheriff's Office, as well as Woodbury County and Union County, and there's probably a couple police departments, Jefferson maybe, or Elk Point, that may have assisted over that way. I just don't have them all. The mother, the victim's mother has been notified through Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and the victim's children have been notified as well.